Borrowing and lending in every society is a core economic activity. This activity involves the transfer of money from the lenders to the borrowers and is done for different purposes such as personal or business needs. In capitalism, the borrowing comes with interest. This is the additional amount the borrower is required to pay back to the lender on top of the original or principal amount. So Steve here, borrowing £100 with 10% interest, will need to pay back £110, in most cases in monthly installments. The lenders of the money, which in most cases would be the banks, and these they pay their lenders, don't care of the purpose for which the money is being borrowed. All they care about is the return of the money plus interest. Let's take Andrew. He's a self-employed IT consultant. His business is doing well and he's getting a stream of income, so he decides to expand his business by getting an office and some professional software, and has decided to borrow £10,000 and he'll pay back £12,000. All is good and well, but suddenly Andrew falls ill with a long-term illness. He's no longer able to work, his business takes a hit, his savings starts to dry up, and after a while he's struggling to make ends meet. What's worse for Andrew is that the lender is chasing and asking for the loan repayments, which he's not able to pay. So suddenly the original £12,000 he had to pay back keeps going up and up every month, putting more pressure on him, while the lender expects a full return of his money. And it is the same story throughout the society, where those who are not able to pay back the original loan due to many reasons such as unemployment or unexpected bills see their situation getting worse and worse, leading to thousands not being able to pay their debts. The true reality is that gains accrued from interest are an exploitation of the effort of the people by the few rich capitalists. Is there a better way? In the Islamic economic system, interest is forbidden categorically, regardless of its percentage, be it 1% or 0.1%. When it comes to borrowing, there is a distinction between a personal and a business loan. Firstly, the Islamic State or the Caliphate is obliged to provide all its citizens with their basic needs, such as food, clothing, shelter, education and healthcare. This higher standard of living will thus minimize the need for people to borrow. But when someone such as Steve does need to borrow, let's say £100, there would be no interest involved, and he would be asked to pay back only the original amount of £100 when he's able to do so. If Steve loses his job and is not able to pay back his debt, it is recommended that his debt be forgiven, so as to ease his burden, making Steve happy. Secondly, borrowing for business needs is treated differently. Now let's go back to Andrew. If Andrew were to take a loan to help expand his business, he would go on an equity partnership with a lender on a profit and loss sharing basis. So if the business was thriving, the profits would be shared between the partners on a predetermined percentages. And unlike in capitalism, if Andrew were to fall ill with long-term illness, the losses the business takes as a consequence would also be spread amongst the partners, and as such spreading the risk. The non-interest based Islamic economic system is more just for all, individuals and businesses alike.